Hi, in this tutorial I will be going over the settings of the Scene Element panel on the left side of Voyager Story. There are 3 tabs, and I will go through them one by one, starting with Navigator. All the elements in Navigator are adjustable, but to activate the settings we need to click on Settings in the taskbar. Under VC, we have the Reader setting. The Reader settings define how the articles in your edition are shown on the screen. How exactly this setting can be used will be discussed in more detail in the tutorial on tours. Under Viewer are settings related to the model. You can turn on and off the annotations, but also adjust how the tags you can add to annotations work within your edition. You can find more details on this in the tutorial on annotations. With Renderer, you can adjust the material of your model and turn on tone mapping to adjust how the colors appear. When you turn on tone mapping, you can adjust the exposure of the model by adjusting the number in the exposure bar. Make it brighter or make it darker, however you like. The Orbit navigation settings allow us to adjust the placement of the objects within the space and how we navigate them. For example, you can turn on auto rotation and set a speed so that your model turns on its own. Turning on Lights Follow Cam ensures that, while turning, the object keeps being lit from the viewer's perspective. V-Background lets you adjust the background. Certain colors might work better with different objects to make them stand out more. For example, we can turn this white. So now it looks like the object is in a white room. Certain colors might work better with different objects to make them stand out more. You can also add a virtual floor, adjust the placement and the color and the opacity. You can add a grid, and down here you can toggle on the tape. But this will only show the tape measure if you have added one already. To add one, go to Tools, Measure, turn it on and add a measurement wherever you want. And now you can go back to VC, scroll down to tape, you can turn it on and off, even if the tape tool is on. The same goes for slice. You can enable it, but only if you've already made a slice. So if the slice tool is off, there is no slicing going on, then you can turn it on in the settings. You can also adjust the color of the slice. For example, turning from a white to a black might come in handy in certain situations. Under Camera Settings, you can adjust the view to exact numbers. You can also set it to either orthographic or perspective. Here, you can adjust the field of view depth. If you put in a higher number, there will be a stronger field of view depth, as opposed to 50. Under Lights, you can adjust their placement, as well as their color and intensity. And you can also adjust the shadows, which only works if you have a virtual floor enabled. We'll have to zoom in to see the difference. A really high blur will make it look like this. Finally, we have the model settings. In the tutorial on adding models, we saw how to use the scaling to correct the object size. Here you see that you can also add tags to a specific model. How this is used in combination with annotations will be discussed in the tutorial on annotations. You can also choose to hide the model here and to change the material of one specific model instead of the whole scene. If you turn on Override, you can manually adjust the materiality of the model as well. I can, for example, make it look like this Pikachu figurine is made of metal by lowering the roughness and turning up the metalness. Now it looks like this Pikachu is made out of metal. The Media tab is your main hub for all multimedia files. Much like adding the model to Voyager, you can add images by dragging and dropping them into the existing folder in the Media tab, like so. I have a file prepared, and you drag it into the folder Articles, which exists from the start of creating the edition. Make sure that there is a blue line around it, and you can drop it, and it will add it. You can change the file names to make it easier to navigate or find images back after you've accidentally deleted them. For this, you click on the pen icon and making sure to leave the file name, JPEG. You can change the name to whatever. You can do the same with articles that are saved here. Just make sure to keep the file extension when changing the name. To add audio to Voyager, you must start by adding the files in here as well. For this, I have also a file prepared. This is an MP3. Like an image, you just drag and drop it into articles. You can once again rename it to find it back easier maybe. Then we go to the audio button on the taskbar and create a new audio. Give it a title, set the language, and drag and drop this audio file from the Media tab into the bar named File Path, making sure that the blue line appears around the box. If you have a particular audio that you want to use as the initial narration for your introduction, toggle is narration to yes, and you will see this button appear. I have already done this in this audio element. It's set to is narration. If I turn it off, this button disappears. If I turn it on again, it reappears. How to add audio from the Media tab to annotations or articles will be discussed in their respective tutorials. Lastly, in the Collection tab, you add the info of your entire collection. You can set the overall language or the main language of the Voyager edition, but keep in mind that there is also a dedicated tutorial on how to add multilingual information to your annotations and articles in the Voyager edition. The title is the main title of the entire project and will be visible here. The intro allows you to make a pop-up appear at the start when visitors first open the edition. If we add some text here, for example, hi, welcome to my edition, save the project and reload the page, the Explorer window shows how this will appear to the visitor. Welcome to Voyager, hi, welcome to my edition. And that's all the features of the Scene Element panel and the end of the tutorial. Thank you for watching, see you in the next one.